In this section, we will discuss how we can create bank master data and house bank in SAP S/4HANA Business Suite. So here is the business scenario. The finance manager wants to create a new local house bank in SAP system in order to receive payment from customers and to make payment to the vendors. In some organizations, it is possible that they have got different bank accounts to receive payment or to make payment. So it can be another business scenario as well that the company wants to use a dedicated bank account to receive payment from customers and another dedicated bank account to make payment to the vendors. So here are the steps which I will follow to create bank master data and house bank. First, check the country specific checks under SAP NetWeaver in display IMG screen. Bank master data is created at client level, so is valid for all company codes. We have the following options to create bank master data. The first step is in SAP Easy Access screen, you can execute the transaction code FI01 to create bank. And here is its menu path. Second step is to execute the transaction code FI12_H bank to define house bank. And here is its menu path. Without doing first step, you can also create bank and house bank together through the transaction code FI12_H bank. The third step is to execute the transaction code FI12 to maintain the link between house banks and GL accounts. This step is done through display IMG screen in SAP ECC. So if you are using an older version than SAP S/4HANA, then you have to do the third step in the configuration screen, that is display IMG. But in SAP S/4HANA, you can do this step in SAP Easy Access screen. And here is the menu path if you are using SAP ECC. Bank master data can also be created through SAP Fiori app Manage Banks, which requires the role SAP BR Cache Specialist assigned to our username to access that SAP Fiori app. We can assign business partner grouping within SAP Fiori app. So you have an option to assign business partner grouping just like customer and vendor master if you are going to create bank master within SAP Fiori app. You can maintain the link between house bank and GL accounts by creating bank account through SAP Fiori app Manage Bank Accounts. So once you create the GL account and house bank, so then you have to maintain a link between both of them. And that's what you can do through SAP Fiori app Manage Bank Accounts. Its table is T012, which you can view it through the transaction code SE16N. And this will display the list of all the house banks which you will create for your company code. I am in SAP Easy Access screen. So the first thing which you have to check is country specific checks under SAP NetWeaver, and SAP NetWeaver can be accessed through display IMG screen. So I will first go to the transaction code SPRO, then SAP reference IMG, and will go under SAP NetWeaver, general settings, and then go to set countries and execute set country specific checks and go to position and locate your country. So as we are creating company code for GB, so we will go to country GB and check its settings. Double click on it and you will be landed on this screen. So the first option is key for the bank directory, bank key, one bank number. So what is one? If you click this button, so the drop down list will pop up and one means bank number. So it means that bank key and bank number are the same. So in UK we use sort key. So sort key is equal to bank key. So bank key and sort key are the same. And in some countries, bank number is used in place of bank key. So we are using that bank key and bank number are the same. And if you are using either bank key or bank number, so bank number length should be 6. So that's what you can adjust, because in some countries, for example, in EU, the bank number is used. So bank number can be 4 digits, 60 digits, or 8 digits. But in UK, we call it sort key. So sort key length is 6. So checking rule. So you can also see checking rule, which is 4. It means length to be kept to exactly numerical width. As you can see, bank account number. So bank account number is usually 8 digits. And for that, the checking rule is 1, which means maximum value length. So if it is less than 8, so the system will accept it. Similarly, postal code length, if it is 9, so the checking rule is 5. So if you want to see all the checking rules available in SAP systems, so you can go to this pop-up option and have a look on all the checking rules which are available. And similarly, post bank account number, and that can be 10, maximum value length without gaps. So in UK, only 2 things we need to create bank accounts. The first is bank account number and the second is bank key or bank number. Now, in some countries, it is possible that bank key is different and bank number is different. So yeah, that is possible. So in that case, you have to come here and choose another option, and that can be assign externally or assign internally. When you will choose assign externally, so it will give you an option and make separate field for bank number. So bank key will be separated from bank number. But if your bank key and bank number are the same, then you will use 1. If you do not want to use bank key or bank number, then you can choose 2, which is obsolete, right? So that's the difference in between bank key and bank number. For our case, because we are creating our account in UK, so in our case, bank key is the same as bank number, which we call in UK as sort key. Once you are happy with the settings, so go back again, go back to SAP Easy Access screen. Go under accounting node, financial accounting, banks, master data, and bank master record. So as it is the end user job to create a house bank, so it is under SAP Easy Access screen. So you have different options to create bank master record. Either you can choose the transaction code FI01, or you can go under house bank and house bank accounts, and you can create both bank master and house bank together in this transaction code, that is FI12 underscore H bank. So let's do it through the transaction code FI12 underscore H bank. Double click on it and enter your company code, that is TUK1. Press enter to continue, and you will have no house bank at the moment. So click new entries, and first you have to enter any number to identify your house bank. So for example, let's say the company's bank account is Barclays. So we will type BRC and we will identify it with the numeric key, that is 1, Barclays 1. Okay, and bank country. So this house bank data, if you will use the transaction code FI01, then you do not need to create it because you haven't created bank data under the transaction code FI01. So you can do it here in the same screen. So enter the bank country GB, and bank key, as I mentioned, is a short key in UK which should be 6 digits. So let's do it as 999999. Okay, and after that click create bank. So now you have to enter the bank name. So it can be Barclays. Okay, and region can be, let's say, LO represents L and D represents London. Okay, and the street can be here, and city can be London, and here is the bank branch. So bank branch can be any area name which you can enter. Let's enter, okay, Forest Gate. So that's it. And you can see here that you entered bank key, which is 6 digits, and bank number is the same. Now here in the first step where I showed you SAP NetWeaver country specific checks, if you select assign externally or assign internally, then in that case bank number will have a separate field than bank key, and you will have an option to enter any different number than bank key. So after that you can enter further addresses, or if you are happy with the address, so you can press enter to continue. And that's it. You can expand this address option and you can see the address which you have just entered. Once you're happy, then hit save and create a new customizing request, and it is define house bank and bank master data for the company code TUK1, and then hit save. Press enter to continue, and the data is saved. Go back again, and now you can see that a house bank has been created. Go back, and now suppose if you could use the transaction code FI01, so what information you can see. So if you go to change, and now you enter the bank country GB, and the bank key is 999999. Okay, and press enter. So you can only see this information, and this is bank master data. So if you go back and click on manage house banks, and this is house bank. So here is the difference. Bank master data is created into SAP system, while house bank represents the bank in real, which is a real bank, and house bank key identifies the real physical bank, while the bank data, which is the bank name and address, this is the bank master data, just like customer master data, vendor master data, like as I explained you in the definition of master data, that it is just the data which does not change often, right? So this is the difference between house bank and bank master data. Go back and go back again, and you will come back on this SAP Easy Access screen. Remember, I explained you that you can also create bank master data through SAP Fiori app Manage Banks. The next step is to manage house bank and house bank accounts. Here, house bank accounts represent GL accounts, where the data will be stored or saved when a customer will make payment to you, or if you make payment to the supplier. So it is stored into GL account. So you have to maintain the link between house bank and GL account. You can either use this transaction code FI12, or you can do it through SAP Fiori app Manage Bank Accounts. So if you double click on it and go to position and go to your company code, that is TUK1, select this and go to house banks, and here you can see the house bank and the house bank data. Now if you double click on bank accounts, so you are getting the message read access only, and you have an option here, create bank account. If you click on it, and you will be redirected to SAP Business Client. As you can see that the browser is opened automatically. So what is SAP NetWeaver Business Client? SAP NetWeaver Business Client is actually a web-based client with a completely different screen layout from the traditional SAP GUI screen. With the introduction of SAP S/4HANA Finance, some configuration and transaction steps have been moved to SAP Business Client. You will need SAP Business Client authorization to perform configuration tasks and execute transactions. We can either access SAP Business Client directly by executing a task through SAP GUI, as we are creating bank account to maintain the link between house bank and GL, or by using its transaction code NWBC. So if you go on SAP Easy Access screen and type the transaction NWBC and then press enter, so the NetWeaver Business Client will be launched through the browser, and here you can choose the roles to execute the functions relevant to them. So here is the new bank account form which will be opened. So you have to fill the information. Choose the opening date first. So let's say it was opened last month on 30th. Enter the company code, that is TUK1. And enter the account holder. So we will enter our company name, that is Tools ABC UK Limited. Bank country is GP, and bank key we have created as 999999. Currency will be GBP, that is a local currency, and enter the account number, and account number is the bank account number, and it should be 8 digits. So our bank account number is given by the business, that is 99887766. Okay, so it makes 8 digits. Then give the account description. So let's say it's a current account. Choose the account type. Click this button to have the options. So you have the following options. So let's choose 01 as current account. And after that, go to house bank account connectivity. Click this button and click add. And you will have this form open. So now you have to enter the house bank account which is given by the bank. So house bank account is just like an identifier. So we type it as Park 01. Okay, so house bank is Bark 1 and house bank account is bar 01. GL account. So here is the option where we can maintain the link between house bank and GL account. If you remember, we created our GL account as 100,000 as our bank GL account. So if you are not sure, so you can click this button and our GL account. Okay, so chart of account is ZAB1, so click search. And all our GL accounts will be popped up. So choose 110,000. Once you are done, then hit save, or you can have a look if there is any other information which is missing. Further, you can enter bank details for return, bill of exchange payable, bank details for bill of exchange presentation, and you can go to additional data tab as well to enter profit center, business area segment as organizational data. Go to general data and you can further enter tolerance group key, reconcile intraday memory records, internal contact person, general contact bank account supervisor. So all these options you have to enter in this new bank account. Once you are finished, then hit save. And bank account, current account created. So first, you just have to make sure that you have maintained the link between house bank and GL account. So go back to SAP Easy Access screen. So here, go back and go back again, go back. Select this, click on house bank, and click on bank accounts now. Okay, so still you cannot see anything, so you have to come out of the transaction code completely and then double click on it again. And now go to position and enter your company code. Select this and double click on house banks and then double click on bank accounts. Press enter to continue. And now you can see the information which you filled through SAP Business Client. Now you can also see your bank account number, GL account, currency, and all such information, house bank account ID, address. So everything is there. So this is now the complete bank account master data. So another thing, that the information you filled through SAP Business Client, you can also do that through SAP Fiori app Manage Bank Accounts. So if you go to SAP Fiori Launchpad and go to the title Bank Relationship, and here you will see all the apps related to the bank. So here is the app where you can also maintain link between house bank and GL account if in case your SAP NetWeaver Business Client does not work. So you can go to this app. Just do not make confuse in between the bank hierarchy view app or manage bank accounts app. Click on this and you will be on this screen. And then you have to click create button. And you will have the similar form open as you saw that we had a form through SAP NetWeaver Business Client to create a new bank account, and then we maintain the link between house bank and GL account. So here is the option which you can navigate it and then can enter the information about your house bank and GL account. So this form will function the same as the form with SAP NetWeaver Business Client.